No.
I wouldn't. I would be sleeping in.
To be honest, probably the same.
Right, I would be sleeping.
But I will say, I do think that whenever you do that, whenever it's something you don't have to do, because a lot of people, let's be honest, Saturday and Sunday, maybe you have family responsibilities, but it's hard to study.
Yeah.
Right,
totally.
So I feel like you get twice the amount of benefit for studying on a day that you don't have to. For working or, whatever your self-improvement routine might be, more than doing it during whatever you learn during your work time during the week, I feel you learn twice as much if you choose to do it in your free time.
Right.
That
is true. Good point.
So thank you all for being very diligent students on the weekend.
I know. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about picky eating. Okay. So if you are picky with what you eat.
Yes.
And usually kids are. They're very picky. What does this mean, picky eating?
If you're picky eating, it means you do not like a lot of things. You have a very specific flavor that you like, and there are many foods you will not eat.
Right.
Yeah.
편식이죠, 편식.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, were you a picky eater when you were a kid?
I think as a child, I definitely was. Did that thing where you just eat chicken strips, chicken nuggets.
Right.
Fried chicken.
Pizza.
And French fries.
Right.
I think many children go through that stage. But I think now, I eat pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, I don't really care about the flavor of my food. Except for like I don't eat hongo. Like I don't eat things like that.
Sure.
But anything else, I really don't care anymore.
Right. I think when you grow up and you become an adult, you become definitely less picky.
I don't know, some people.
They still?
Yeah. That's kind of, how like a red flag, like when you go on a date with someone and they talk about like, oh, I don't eat vegetables.
Oh, no.
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
So, ooh.
Oof. Okay.
Anyway, but
all right.
Neither of us are picky eaters.
Okay, we are not picky eaters. And today's topic talks about the fact that perhaps picky eating may be a genetic trait. 유전적인 거예요.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's not learned. Maybe we're just born to be picky eaters. Okay, here are some expressions that we're going to cover. If you give up on something,
you are stopping it. You're abandoning it. You were doing something and you're like, okay, I give up. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Okay, in the long run.
So this is talking about a long amount of time. So not short term, but long term thinking.
Okay, if something rubs off on someone,
you're influencing them. Maybe there's a habit and it is influencing you and now you have that habit.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and listen to our article.
If you have a child who is a picky eater, keep reading before you give up on trying to get them to eat healthier. A study of twins, both identical and non-identical, found that picky eating is at least partially genetic. In the study, parents of twins filled out questionnaires about their children's eating habits at various intervals, from 16 months to 13 years old. Results showed that identical twins had more similar eating habits than non-identical twins, suggesting it is genetic. In the long run, however, even identical twins' eating habits diverged. As children reach adolescence, the eating habits of friends begin to rub off on both types of twins.
Okay, picky eating may be a genetic trait. The article can be found on page 74. Let's begin. If you have a child who is a picky eater, keep reading before you give up on trying to get them to eat healthier. Okay, so Cameron, you don't have a child who is a picky eater.
I have a dog who's a picky eater.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Picky eater is just a person who is very picky with their eating.
Yeah, they will only eat a few things.
Okay.
I went to high school with a girl who only ate turkey sandwiches. Literally only.
Every day?
Except for she would eat cakes, like different types of cakes because she liked baking. She would eat cereal in the morning. And then for lunch, it was always a turkey sandwich. If we as friends went out to a restaurant, she brought her own turkey sandwich.
No.
Yeah. Like it was that, like whatever was on the menu, she wasn't going to eat it.
That's so strange.
No vegetables, no. Yeah.
Is she still alive?
She is.
Is she okay?
Surprisingly.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. She still shows up on my social media.
Really?
I don't know if she's gotten better eating habits.
Maybe she's changed.
But yeah, she only ate turkey sandwiches.
Wow. Talk about picky eating, right? Okay. So keep reading before you give up on trying. So you say, I give up, right? Which is 포기해.
Yeah.
Right? But if you give up on something, it means that something, what is that something?
So here, it's talking about giving up on your child, essentially, is thinking that you cannot help them or they will not be able to do something. In this case, give up on them eating better foods, right?
Right.
I think a lot of parents do struggle with having kids eat healthy things like vegetables, right?
Yeah. It takes a great amount of effort to add that kind of stuff and let it be and make it tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, you end up like hiding it in spaghetti sauce, right?
Oh, that's why my son, Yunseo, used to always have spaghetti. Because that sauce, I put a ton of carrots and celery and onions.
Yeah, just put it all in there so they can't taste it. Yeah.
Right. So to give up on something just means don't do it anymore. You tried and you give up.
It's useless. I can't do it.
Okay. A study of twins, both identical and non-identical, found that picky eating is at least partially genetic. So picky eating is partially genetic, which means not completely, but a little.
Yeah. Part of the reason is because of the person's DNA.
Okay, let's continue.
In the study, parents of twins filled out questionnaires about their children's eating habits at various intervals from 16 months to 13 years old.
Okay, so they did a study, and results showed that identical twins had more similar eating habits than non-identical twins, suggesting it is genetic. Okay, our power pattern today is results showed that.
Yes, this is a great pattern for when you are giving a report, when you're talking about the results of an experiment or a survey. In this case, it was a questionnaire. This is a great way to start your sentence. Results show that, and then you give your conclusion.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good pattern to use even in the office when you are analyzing something.
Yes.
And you're making a presentation.
Right. Results show that our customers prefer the blue type over the red type.
Right. Okay. Let's continue.
In the long run, however, even identical twins' eating habits diverged.
Okay. So, in the long run...
Yes.
Are we running? Why is there a run?
Yeah, so this run is not an actual run, like moving your legs fast, right?
Yeah.
This is about in the long term. So when you look over a large amount of time, so in this case, maybe until about 13 years old, you can make these kind of judgments on what the eating habits will be. But in the long run, so let's say these twins are now 50 years old.
Oof, okay.
Right? Do these results still stand up to the original findings, right, of the experiment? And it's saying that in the long run, when you look for a really long time...
Yeah, into the future...
It doesn't really have the same result.
So eating habits diverged. And when something diverges...
It splits. It goes in a different direction.
Right, two different directions. As children reach adolescence, the eating habits of friends begin to rub off on both types of twins. So one of the reasons why it splits, they go the other way, is because of their friends.
Yes.
Okay.
So their eating habits rub off on each other. So to rub off on means to influence, to change something. So maybe the twins didn't like hamburgers, but one of the twins had a friend who always ate hamburgers. So one friend learned to like hamburgers.
Right.
That would be the friend's eating habits rubbing off on that one twin.
Right. It's so interesting. Haven't you ever, maybe you have a friend who speaks in a particular way.
Yes.
Or says some common things often.
Yes.
If you spend a lot of time with that friend, they start to rub off on you.
Well, I think we've rubbed off on each other.
How so?
Well, I think I heard you the other day say Jiminy. Which is just like
it's true.
Where I'm from, we maybe say something like, "Oh my goodness," right?
Jiminy. Yeah, it's true. I love the little sayings that you.
In California,
we don't say Jiminy.
You wouldn't say that.
No.
But not everyone says it in Arkansas, but it's something that would not be completely odd to hear.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you rub off on me. Okay, let's go ahead and read that or listen to that article one more time.
If you have a child who is a picky eater, keep reading before you give up on trying to get them to eat healthier. A study of twins, both identical and non-identical, found that picky eating is at least partially genetic. In the study, parents of twins filled out questionnaires about their children's eating habits at various intervals, from 16 months to 13 years old. Results showed that identical twins had more similar eating habits than non-identical twins, suggesting it is genetic. In the long run, however, even identical twins' eating habits diverged. As children reach adolescence, the eating habits of friends begin to rub off on both types of twins.
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 76 and 77. So if you give up on something, it means to stop some goal or something that you've been doing.
Yes.
And it's because you've tried and it's not working. So you give up.
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a look at this mini dialogue. I'm never going to learn to play this thing.
Don't give up on playing the guitar. I can hear that you're getting better. Yeah, musical instruments. Some people, I played musical instruments in high school, all the way to high school, so 7 years.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people, their first year of band, they're like in 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
And they just stop. They give up.
They give up on it.
And it's so sad. They give up before they're going to get good.
I know.
Because it takes a few years with a musical instrument.
Yeah.
So you got to keep pushing on.
That's right. And I feel that maybe some of our listeners, by the end of the year, are saying, well, I kind of give up on this thing. I mean, my English is not improving. I just don't, have the energy. But don't give up on your English.
Yeah, don't give
either.
up. Maybe you can slow down. Everyone has difficult times where they need to go not as hard as they were going.
Yeah.
But it's better, don't stop completely.
That's right.
Because you never know. It's weird. These types of things, you don't think you're making improvement, and then bam, you make a lot of improvement all at once.
And that's what happened when I started working out. 3 months, nothing. 3-4 months, I saw nothing.
Yeah.
And then right after 4 months, it was like, boom. And I started to lose weight. I was like, it was really strange. So in anything that you do, there's a point where you just have to kind of push through.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the results.
Don't give up.
Don't give up on our show.
Yeah.
Okay. After 5 failed attempts, he gave up on trying to climb Mount Everest.
Ooh, Mount Everest.
5 times.
Yeah,
I would give
maybe
up.
the weather just keeps getting bad.
Yeah.
To be honest, that may be one thing you can give up on and it'd be okay.
Sure.
Mount Everest is very dangerous.
Yes.
So
you don't have to climb it.
Safety first, for sure.
Okay. In the long run, it means over a long period of time. Into the future.
Yes.
Okay. That's a lot of money to pay for a bed.
I think it'll be worth it in the long run.
Why would it be worth it in the long run?
So we often use this for expensive purchases. When you talk about, it'll be cheaper in the long run.
Yeah.
Because expensive things we expect to be of better quality.
Right.
So you can use them for longer.
Right.
But cheap things, maybe they're cheap in the beginning, but you use it and it wears out.
It wears out and then it breaks or it's not comfortable. I feel like a bed is really important.
Yeah.
It really is worth it in the long run.
It's like 33% of your life is in bed.
Is
Hopefully,
in bed.
if you sleep 8 hours a day.
Right. It's so true.
You should definitely do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the long run, you'll have to learn how to take care of yourself.
It's so true. I live alone now.
Yeah.
I got to do my laundry.
Yep.
I got to I got to brush my teeth.
Right.
No one's going to tell me to do that.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
And I tell you, even if you're married, everybody is responsible for taking care of themselves.
Yes.
It's really true, right? So that's the way to you make sure that everyone, there's synergy and good energy. Because if one person's sick and they don't take care of themselves, then it becomes a burden for the other person.
Right. Of course, if you are sick, you expect your husband or wife to help you. But as far as like if you are living an unhealthy lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. If someone rubs off on someone or if something rubs off on someone, what does this mean?
This means that they are affecting or influencing another person.
Okay. Tim has been talking back to his teachers in school.
I think that new kid in his class is rubbing off on him.
If you talk back to your parents or your teacher, what are you doing?
So you are... So it's someone with authority, someone that's above, and the person underneath is talking back. They're saying, no, I don't want to, or I don't think that's true, or kind of going against what the person above them has said.
Right. So here, if a kid is talking back to his teacher, the kid is not listening to the teacher, and the kid is making trouble.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't want to do it.
Nuh-uh. We don't do that at my house. Yeah.
I hope your brother's laziness doesn't rub off on you.
That's true. You know, when friends, siblings, you kind of start to have the same habits, same actions.
It's so true. And that's why they say, friends are so important in adolescence because depending on what kind of friends you have, they rub off on you. Yeah. They could be a positive influence or a negative one.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that you're the average of the 5 people you're closest to. So the 5 people you meet the most, you're the average of them.
Really?
So you're not the best at anything in all of them altogether.
Yeah.
But they affect you, you affect them.
Right. It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our power pattern today is results showed that.
This is a way of reporting results that you find.
Okay. Results show that more children preferred carrots to broccoli.
Results showed that the experimental drug was effective in stopping migraines.
Okay, very good. Our power vocab is picky eater. Do check out the definition on page 78. And please stop by Audio Ohakdang and subscribe for a very small fee and listen to the show however many times you would like.
Yes.
All right, have a great weekend and please join us next week.
Bye-bye.